For me, I wouldn't even be able to be in a relationship. To me, it's a total trap. To me, it's a total waste of time. To me, it's a total drain of my energy, and I would not want to waste my energy and time on one or two or three people. I would never do that. For me, I always pray I never have relationships in this life and future lives, never have kids, never get involved in a mess, because it's such a waste of time, it's such a waste of draining energy. Just imagine Donald, this Rose, gets married, goes to work, and takes care of his kids. How many people will lose? Don't even laugh at the scenario. Think about the bigger impact. Just think of someone like him did that. Think of Mother Teresa. She says, okay, give up everybody, and I just go get married and have kids, I take care of myself. That's just like that, selfish. So my point is, I would never want to get involved in things like that, ever. I don't see it as bad, I don't see it as good, it's just a waste of time. I can see myself working 20, 30 years for 2 or 3 kids. And then that's it. The sum of my life is that's it. That's what I produced my whole life. What's the big deal about that? What is the big deal about that? Animals without our intelligence can produce kids. What's the big deal if you have 2 or 3 kids? What happens? So for me, I would never get into that. Ever. It's not because of vows. It's not because I'm holy. It's not because I'm not interested or interested. It is such a trap. People who never get married, never have kids, it's actually a result of good karma. But in this society, they don't think that. They look down on people who are spinsters or are not married, but actually it's very good karma. Why? It allows you time to practice. If getting married, having kids was such a great thing, Brother Shakti would have stayed in this family. You like this family. But if he had stayed, we wouldn't be here together right now. I'm not putting anyone down, but I'm saying that in Tibetan society, this is not looked down. No. So if you came from a Tibetan background, we would be looking at you like, you're weird. Oh yes, you're very weird. If you have awareness, if you're clear and sharp, you can write on that. How can you write on that? When you're clear and sharp, you don't create suffering for people around you. You don't forget things. People don't have to remind you. You don't create damage. People don't have to repeat things to you. So a lot of suffering is decreased if you have awareness. The level of your awareness is how much you push yourself toward awareness. The level of awareness, how much you push yourself, is how much compassion you have. If you have great compassion, you will have a lot of awareness. If you don't have compassion, you will not be aware. When you SMS, you forget things. When you walk out of the room, you forget this. And it's not once in a while you forget, it's constantly and consistently. So when you're not compassionate, you don't develop awareness. Why? You don't care if you damage people. You don't care if people have to repeat themselves. You don't care how much burden you want to other people. So therefore, you become like someone that has to walk. So getting from one destination to another destination takes a long time. So when you have awareness, it's like riding a horse. A horse that rides on a wing can fly. So flying is active for speed. Speed means to accomplish something quickly. So if you have awareness, you can accomplish things much faster, quicker, efficiently, and you don't create suffering around you. And on top of that, awareness is another tool you need for becoming a Buddha. So if you're practicing Dharma, if you're a Dharma student and you don't have awareness, you're not practicing Dharma. So you can ride awareness, you can ride it. The overall effect is upliftedness. Why do you feel uplifted? Because someone who's very alert and aware is not alert. People who are alert are very heavy. Their senses are very slow. They move slow, they talk slow, they act slow, and they react slow. So it's like kind of like dragged down. When you're very aware, it uplifts you. It means like you're light, you're quick, you're fast, you're lively. Riding awareness meaning based on awareness, you can gain attainments. Based on awareness, you can become much more alert to the people around you. Based on awareness, you can destroy a lot of difficulties you experience in your life. If you're not aware, you create a lot of sufferings for people around you. You understand that? Something along that lines. So why? He says when we pay attention to everything around us, that's awareness. That's the first line. Then the overall effect is upliftedness. From that, he's describing the Shambhalian term for wind horse. So wind horse is a horse that rides on the wind. It is said in Tibetan tradition, a wind horse is something that on the back it carries your prayers up to the three jewels, up to the Buddhas. So it means achieving your prayers quickly. Wind horse representation. Achieving your prayers very quickly. Okay? So our prayers is what? Freedom from suffering, freedom from unhappiness, freedom from difficulties. The only way we can get freedom from that is to have awareness. If we ride a horse, or if we ride awareness, we can be free from sufferings and difficulties. Why? We don't create the causes. Why don't we create the causes? Because we're aware not to damage others. We don't become a burden for others. When we're not aware, and we force other people to aware, or we force people to repeat themselves to us again and again and again, it's very negative karma. Why is it negative karma? Because they can be doing other things, you can be doing other things. So that means you are not paying attention to what you're doing. You're forcing other people to repeat or push you. Why? It means you're very holding on. You're very stubborn. So awareness is very important in Buddhist practice in order for us to reach another level. Those who are not aware, very difficult to reach another level. Very difficult. Why? Lacking compassion. Lacking. Highly realized lamas, you never see them grow. They're very sharp. Their senses are very sharp, very quick. Everything around them they perceive. Why? They've attuned themselves to the needs of others. So to be attuned to the needs of others, you will be very sharp. Those who are not attuned, they always forget things. They always have to be reminded. It's a clear sign that they're not attuned to others. They're only attuned to themselves. So they're so into themselves, they need other people to remind them things all the time. So awareness can be ridden because it is a tool to be used to develop higher qualities. Wisdom is knowledge that can bring you out of suffering. Intelligence is understanding methods to accomplish something. So if you know how to lacquer a piece of wood, that's kind of like knowledge or intelligence. And wisdom is something that can release you from suffering. It's very different. When we contemplate and meditate on how much other people experience sufferings, again and again, on a gross level and a subtle level, then we develop great compassion. When you see a dog outside who's been run over by a car and the leg is broken, doesn't get any food and bleeding, how do you feel? How do you feel? Correct. If we see that, we feel pity. If we meditate on that every day and we multiply it with everybody and what they go through, great compassion arises. Someone who's been very kind to you in your life, for example, your mother. If you meditate on how kind she's been, and that at the end of her life you can do nothing for her, and you can't help her in any way, and that you would like to repay her kindness, how can you repay her kindness? If you meditate on that again and again and again, then compassion will arise. And that everybody was your mother at one time or another. And that is it fair for you just to take care of your mother this life or your mother all lives? So if they've been kind to you, they've been helpful to you, you have to repay their kindness. But how can you repay their kindness? Only by teaching them the Dharma. Why? When you teach them the Dharma, you give them the method how to release them from taking rebirth again and again and again and suffering. So when we meditate on the kindness of our mother, that's the first step. It helps us develop compassion. And then we apply that to all beings in existence. That's one. The second thing is to meditate on beings suffering and what they go through, and the difficulties they go through, and how ignorant they are. And then pity and compassion will arise. If we meditate on consistently and constantly, pity and compassion will arise, not depression. Why? If we want to do something about it, pity and compassion will arise. Once we meditate on that, we become more aware, we become more attuned. then we start to study more, we start to practice more, we meditate more, we learn more, we do more. Why? To accomplish the methods on how to help